You're a lawyer that represents gunshot victims and survivors. What are their special concerns that you've seen through the years?
Well, I think one thing that most of them have felt is that the gun laws in this country are just crazy and they need to be changed. And let me give you some examples. I represented victims of Benjamin Smith, who was a member of an Aryan white supremacist group who went on a shooting spree in Illinois and Indiana, killing Ricky Birdsong, who was a former basketball coach, and targeting Jews, Asians, and African Americans. He killed Ricky Birdsong as he was walking with his children in a suburb of Chicago. Benjamin Smith is someone who was prohibited from purchasing a gun, but he was able to buy a gun from a gun trafficker. Well, the trafficker bought over 70 guns from a gun dealer over the course of about a year and a half. And here's a list of just some of the guns that this trafficker bought from the same gun dealer, essentially going to the gun dealer about every week, buying a Saturday night special each time. Over 70 guns in a year and a half. That's crazy. There was no law that prevented this trafficker from buying those guns. Another case, Daniel Williams, who was a high school basketball player, was shooting baskets outside his home in Buffalo and was shot by a drive-by shooter. Again, criminal who was prohibited from having guns, was able to get the gun from a gun trafficker, and the trafficker bought the guns from a dealer who was selling out of a gun show. And that trafficker and his cohorts bought at least 250 guns from the same dealer at the same gun show. And in fact, the gun that was used to shoot Daniel Williams was one of 87 guns that were bought in a single purchase. Someone goes to a gun dealer at a gun show and bought 87 guns at the same time. There was no law preventing that when anyone in their right mind knew that those guns were headed for the streets to be sold to criminals. And that is insane. And I think most Americans would be outraged if they knew that that could go on in virtually every state in this country. And a simple, modest law like a one-gun-a-month law allowing you to have 12 handguns a year, I think most people would support. Polls show that most people do support it. Prevention of assault weapon possession by civilians is another thing most people support. Licensing, registration, just treating guns as we do other potentially dangerous products. That doesn't prevent law-abiding people from having guns if they choose to have them, but it does keep criminals from getting them.